How's it going everybody, it's Rejack here for another Black Ops 2 video, and today we're going to talk about bloodthirsties and how to get them more easily. But, Rage, you already did this video. Absolutely right, I did. But things have changed and I need to do another one to sort of address the changes that have been made in the game. So first up, let's talk about Rejack. That is a popular topic, especially on my last Mythbuster video, because there seems to be a lot of confusion between whether it works or whether it doesn't work. So, let's get into it. Now, straight off, I have been so busy that I haven't been able to test this out for a while. I've had comments for a while from people saying that it doesn't work, but I wanted to be 100% sure that that was the case, so I had to test it. I've only been recently able to do it. Once I got into a game, I got around about 3 kills, and then I died. However, Rejack just activated at the last minute, and so I was able to get back up. So technically, at least before the patch, that would have counted as not dying, and then my bloodthirsty streak could continue. After getting 2 more kills, I thought, brilliant, I've done the bloodthirsty. Now I then got another legitimate bloodthirsty where I didn't die at all later on, so I was guaranteed at least one bloodthirsty. However, lo and behold, when I got to the end of the game and I went back to the lobby menu, you can kind of guess what I saw. That's right, I only saw one bloodthirsty increase, as you're seeing here. It started at 3 before the game started, and when I came out I only got 4. What? But I got a Rejack bloodthirsty as well. Nuh-uh. Rejack no longer counts, only the legitimate bloodthirsties that now count. So Rejack has now been patched. No matter how many kills you get before you die with Rejack, unless it's over 5 of course, it won't count. So Rejack is now pretty much useless again, and shouldn't be used for bloodthirsties. It doesn't help you at all. But how do I actually get bloodthirsties more quickly? Well, I've changed my mind a little bit about a couple of things. So first up, let's start talking about the game mode. If you have a weapon that's kind of difficult to get kills with, and you find that you have to shoot out loads of bullets to kill someone with, the answer is simple: hardcore. Now, I'm talking about things like burst weapons, like the M8A7. I was kind of annoyed with how slowly it killed people, so I went into hardcore and it melts instantly. So that's a really good way to get those kind of weapons done faster. And the same for pistols really. Pistols and similar weapons are good in hardcore because you have to barely put any effort into killing the enemy. If you stay calm, make good decisions, you can easily get 5 kills and hence a bloodthirsty. So definitely hardcore is brilliant for those weapons that are more difficult. Note, things like snipers are probably not a good idea to take into hardcore because it takes very little damage before you die, and when you're scoped in with this thing, it's not easy to kill enemies close to you. So you've got to be very careful with things like snipers. But I've got a video for that coming soon. So the person asked me to do bloodthirsty medals for sniper rifles. I'm about halfway done with the video. It'll be done soon. So that's pretty much the game mode. Other game modes that are good are things like domination, just basically where you've got an objective where the enemy is distracted and you can run around the edge of the map. That's very key, by the way, because I feel that a lot of enemies sort of bunch together, and that if you just run at them, obviously they're all going to shoot at you and you're going to die very quickly. If you run around the edge of the map, however, you're going to get less enemies, and most of the time they'll be sort of singular rather than grouped together, so you can easily pick them off one by one until you get your bloodthirsty. Another really important point, which I got on my original bloodthirsty video, you know, the one for how to get the medals faster, some people were saying that it didn't help and that, you know, it was just completely rubbish. There was no good advice in there whatsoever. And I would simply say this: bloodthirsties are meant to be difficult. Of course, I'm not saying that they can't be easy at any point. Of course they are. Lots of times you'll get them when you don't need them, but I think that's part of the thing which I'm going to address in just a second. The thing about bloodthirsties is if they were easy, no one would look them up, and hence there'd be no point doing this video. But they are more difficult than that, and so I do need to do this video for those people that need it. So a key thing to note is obviously I can't do it for you. That's what some people were failing to realise, is that I can't do it for you, I can only help you with it. And it will take some time. You can't just jump into one game and get all your bloodthirsties. It doesn't work like that, or at least it does very rarely. Now the next key point is to keep your cool. If you start getting all stressed up, you'll make stupid decisions and hence you'll die very easily. I often find that by not even thinking about the bloodthirsty and just going in and having a casual game, I get a lot more bloodthirsties than I do when I'm totally focused on getting the bloodthirsties. It's weird, but it makes total sense. If you're stressed, you're thinking about the bloodthirsty, you're not thinking about what you're doing, and hence you die. If you play a casual game, you're thinking more about your strategy and what you're doing, but you'll sort of play more naturally as well. So if you're an alright player that can get bloodthirsties a lot, then just relax like that, it's going to be fine. Now, I've had some people saying that they're like really bad at Call of Duty and hence they're really upset that they can't get any camos. I'm going to suggest you start off by going into this private matches with bots and keep training until you get better. Try it with the easier weapons as well to get bloodthirsties with those and all those challenges, and once you've done those you can move up to the harder weapons. Now those are sort of the basic tips. Let's get on to some more useful tips now. So first up, score streaks. UAV, care package and counter UAV is good. You know, care package can be good for giving you random things. It doesn't really matter about the third one. As long as you don't have any lethal score streaks, you're good. Counter UAV and UAV are good because they help you and don't help the enemy with the minimap. So you can easily see more enemies, but they can't see you, which is brilliant. Now for specialists, and this is the really key point, if you can't use Rejack, what can you use? You can only obviously use the abilities rather than the weapons, because the weapons will take kills which you need with your weapon that you need to get goals. So it's not going to help you if you use lethals. Get rid of all the guns and all the different weapons like that. You only want to focus on the abilities. Now of these, some of them are a bit useless. Things like overdrive, that's not going to help you with a bloodthirsty. One that I really liked was kinetic armor, psychosis and heatwave. Heatwave and psychosis were good for like distracting an enemy and preventing them from killing you very easily. Although I'd suggest that you activate these when you're close to like 4 or 5 kills. If you started right at the beginning, you could then die and it'll take you a while to earn again. So use it right at the end when you're close to getting that bloodthirsty so that you don't die silly. Because obviously you die a lot more easily when you're close to that bloodthirsty because you make more stupid mistakes. However, my favourite specialist ability to use was Vision Pulse. It was really good. It showed you enemies where we're around the corner. Often I'll die and think, oh my god, if only I know where they are. Well, now you can. Vision Pulse allows you to see where they are, maps the enemies around walls. You can sort of make a little game plan for yourself, which way you're going to go. You'll see where they are so that you don't have as many stupid deaths, and it's just really useful for tracking the enemies and knowing when they are, because if one comes up, creeps up behind you, that's really not what you want. So hopefully you guys found this video useful. I'd love to hear your comments, and if I got any new tips, I'll let you guys know. And I'll be coming out soon with a sniper bloodthirsty video and the other ones for like pistols and combat knife, that kind of thing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon.